Hi Shmee, I'm Guys, and I know loads of you have been waiting years for me to start a video that way. Well, it's now been done. But today we're in the garage because I wanted to give you an update about my new car, the car that I'm going to use this summer for road trips around Europe, like the Wes Shmee Euro Tour off to Top Marks Monaco and Street Gasm Rally that I'll be doing just after that. So that's the empty space where the new car is waiting to go. The GT8 is currently off back at home with the Focus RS and with the Mini, the FF and the 675 LT both here, but I've come in also to prepare the FF because I'm about to be taking it off to the Geneva Motor Show and then a couple of weeks driving around in it after that as well. So just making sure all is well. It's been on the trickle charger and running completely perfectly, so that's quite nice too for me, given the troubles I've had before now. Basically, you shouldn't leave these cars for a long time without driving them. But I want to talk about the new car. Now, you'll probably remember when I was here announcing the new garage, we put out a link to a page over on Qt, allowing you guys to give us all your opinions and suggestions on cars and take part in polls and discussions. Now, we had over 5,000 poll entries, over 1,200 comments, and kind of unfortunately, so many of you got involved in the discussion that in the first few hours, we actually managed to bring down the website. But we've been looking through them all and trying to engage and respond to your suggestions. What I want to do today, though, is talk a little bit about what car is going to fill that spot. What is going to be the car that I drive on my Euro Tour adventures over the next couple of months. I'm going to take a seat inside the FF to run through some of your suggestions, but just firstly, having taken the cover off it, looking nice and clean and shiny, the Le Mans Blue and Crema is such a perfect colour combination for that car. You couldn't have it any better way in my opinion, and it's not going anywhere anytime soon. I've got all my trickle chargers lying around behind, the GT8 one obviously not being used at the moment, but I'm going to jump inside, and I've got to be careful with my camera angles because there's a lot in here that I cannot show you that I have mentioned before. In fact, while I'm sat here, there are actually some pretty awesome cars right there, right in front of me. Sorry about this, but what I want to do is run through some of the cars we have had suggested so far. You'll have to excuse me for looking at some notes because we have basically had so many suggestions thrown at us that there would be no way for me to remember it all. So I'm going to run through a little bit. Firstly, this is a car to use basically from April onwards. So to give you a little bit of an estimation, I'm hoping to reveal a new car at the end of March. So I need to choose something by then, which is why you guys need to click the link below and go and offer me your input when you've heard and I've gone through the list I'm about to start with. So firstly, let me eliminate anything that's launching at this year's Geneva Motor Show. All the Ferrari F12 Superfasts, the Porsche Panamera Sport Turismos, the Bentley Supersports. These are all cars that there is no way deliveries will arrive in time for the events that I want the cars to go to. So as lovely as, let's say, an 812 Superfast would be, that's not going to work for this one, unfortunately. But moving on. We had a lot of Audi R8 V10s or Lamborghini Huracans, both of which are not GT cars, they're mid-engine supercars. I've got the 675 LT sat right beside me for that, so I'm not going to sort of duplicate two cars for the same purpose, especially when I want to travel with luggage. Neither car has a desperately big bonnet. In fact, they have minuscule bonnets because they have the all-wheel drive system, which takes up all the space. Ferrari F12, love the F12, but very similar to this, the FF. It's the same engine after all, and the the F12 is also quite expensive. We're talking the best part of £200,000, and I didn't really want to go that high for this car. Bentley Continental could be an option, maybe a GT Speed, maybe a V8S. I'm not sure, but I'll look into it. Bentley Continental GT. Aston Martins. Now, I've had such an amazing experience with the GT8, as you know, filming the whole Road to GT8 series. I have loved it. I've not driven the car too much, but more videos coming soon so far. But Aston's are very interesting, because when I owned my V8 Vantage before, 6 years ago, I thought about upgrading it to a DBS. So a DBS is possible, a Vanquish is possible, maybe a DB9, one of the GTs, the final model. We've had a few suggestions of Rapide, but I don't really think I'd do a Rapide. It's quite sort of treading on the toes of this car, so not that. DB11, bit too expensive and not that much choice for what's on the market at the moment. We've had lots of Porsche 911s, especially now that I don't have the GT4. So 911s, we've had lots of Turbo S's, GTS's. I'm not thinking another GT car, Porsche GT. It sounds weird because I want a GT Grand Tourer, not a GT for the track. But I think I'll look more in the options on the Porsche front, so do get involved in that too. Moving on, we've had a few Rolls-Royce Dawns and Wraiths. They're quite expensive over the price bracket. Maybe a Wraith is possible, but I think it might be a bit old man-y, if I can say that. Not sure at this stage. S65 AMG eliminated the S63 coupes or cabriolets. This is because it's a V8. I've got too many V8s with the McLaren, the Aston, and the AMG GTR coming. But the S65 possible, but again quite expensive. Might not hold its value. Ferrari California we had, Jaguar F-Type Rs we've had, or SVRs again, more V8s, more, I guess, very similar to what I've got, I would say. Alfa Romeo Giulia Quadrifoglio, nice car, really nice car, but not necessarily after a sedan. Audi Rs6, had one before, the Abt car I drove for a couple of months, so I don't want to do the same again, if that makes sense. RS7 was another suggestion, a bit similar in my mind. Same with the BMW M5 and M6. They don't sort of have that supercar class. I don't know how to describe that. The sort of wow, the excitement, even though they are brilliant and very quick. Maseratis, platform's a bit old. We had lots of Gran Turismo MC Stradale, but it's not up there nowadays, I don't think. You know, there'll be new cars in the future. We had some Honda NSXs, too expensive, too hard to get hold of. We had some Nissan GTRs, not really a Grand Tourer. It might be really, really fast, the supercar killer thing, but it's not for me. I just don't have a draw at this stage to a Nissan GTR. We had some pretty out there suggestions, some really expensive stuff. Lexus LFA, love that car, can't afford it. Ferrari F12 TDF, love that car, really can't afford it. Come on guys, these are £500,000 and like £1 million respectively. We've got to play like 100, 150,000 here. We had a bunch of SUVs offered, not after an SUV guys, not for this purpose. And then we had some Model S's, Tesla Model S's, and you try and do a road trip on a Model S, you will forever have your friends fed up waiting for you to charge your car because they want to go because they've done their fill up in 5 minutes. So that's just not going to work. It's brilliant in the city, stop starts traffic, wonderful, driving around, cruising, daily driver for families, perfect. Road trips, not the best. Then we had some interesting stuff. The Praga R1, Radicals, Donkervorts, but these are not GT cars. Come on, guys. This is a car for driving thousands of miles around Europe and leisurely long-distance drives in the UK. And then we had Fiat Multipla. You can get 6 people in and some luggage. But nah. And then we had Ford Transits. Yeah, again, no. So, we had quite a lot of cars suggested, but I need you guys to head over and basically fire some more at me, because I'm sure that's not all. We've also had a couple of polls running, and out of the polls, basically we asked what engine type, because I said I wanted to head away from a V8, and the overall winner so far is a V12. We had brands, because that was just an open list, and the winner is a Porsche. Find me a Porsche with a V12. I don't think it exists. Or at least not yet. So that's not going to work, but that's the list so far. Before I jump out, let's just start the Ferrari because, well, it sounds amazing. There we go. Now, if that had not been on a trickle charger, let's just say it would not have started very cleanly, so that's basically why I do that. You have to make sure it's unplugged before you start it. But I'm going to take this car out now and head back over to home with it. So let's conk it off because you probably can't hear me at all. Let me step out of the car if I can do so without falling over, holding the camera. But yeah, this is basically time to get started on choosing the new car because I want to reveal it by, well, the end of this month, by the end of March. So I've got to choose something and buy it. And I mean, let's go with a little bit of my thinking. I mean, from those options, 911s, Astons, I'd like a V12. I'd like another V12 because that sounds so immensely awesome. I ruled out the AMG GT, AMG GTS because of the AMG GTR coming and not wanting to diminish the experience. Maybe some Bentleys, Rolls-Royces are in there. But if you guys head over to Qt, offer up your opinions, vote in the polls, we'll see what we're going to lead towards. I'm also thinking I should probably have a convertible, by the way, because the LT Spider is my only out of 5 cars convertible, and it'd be nice to have another one alongside it, because if you've been following me for a while, you'll know that I do quite like open-top motoring. I had my S5 Cabriolet when I was just started with YouTube, then I had the V8 Vantage Roadster, then the R8 Spider, I've had a 650S Spider and a 675 LT Spider, and even my R-Bath was a convertible as well. style cabriolet. So I think that's probably the way I'm going to go for the south of France and for Italy. So let's see what we're going to choose, what this car is going to be, and you guys have some of the say in that too. So make sure you head over to QT, pop some comments into the discussion. We'll try and get back to you and head towards that new car. Anyway, I'm going to wrap it up there for now. Thanks very much for watching, guys, as always, and I'll catch up with you again very soon. Cheers.